Good afternoon, Catawba County students and parents. Welcome to CCS Live. Remember, we will be here live every day at 2 o'clock with read-alouds of some of our favorite books. My name's DeAnna Finger, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction for Catawba County Schools. And I'm excited to be able to read to you today. But before I do that, I just want to say how excited we are about our instructional plan that is now out and rolling in Catawba County Schools. And we appreciate all the work you're doing as students and parents in helping your children with their work. We want to continue to collaborate with you as schools continue to be shut down to make this the best instructional time that we can have in our school system. Now I'm going to go ahead and read my book today. So if you will join me, I'm excited to read one of my favorite books of all time. And the title of my book is Amazing Grace. And this book is a scholastic book. And I would like to go ahead and tell you the author is Mary Hoffman. And the illustrator is Caroline Bench. Both are... Mary is one of my favorite authors of all time, and this book is just lovely, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So this book is a fictional book, so nothing real here. It's based on an imaginary character named Grace, and Grace goes through some things just like you and I have in our lives where we try to figure out who we are and who we want to be. And I think by the end of this story, we'll all be reminded that we can be anything that we want to be if we dream big enough and we work hard. So I hope you enjoy the story. Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her, or told to her, or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were in books or movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she had heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out. And she always gave herself the most exciting part. Grace went into battle as the Joan of Arc, or she wove a wicked web as Anasia the spider. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy, and she went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. Grace had a great imagination. Sometimes she was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining big sea water. And at other times she was Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat, and found a city with streets paved in gold. Or she was Aladdin, rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appear. Sometimes she could get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was a Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. One day, Grace went to school, and her teacher said they would be doing the play Peter Pan. Grace knew who she wanted to be. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter Pan," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. All right, said the teacher. "Lots of you want to be Peter Pan, so we will have auditions next week to choose parts." And she gave them words to learn. When Grace got home, she seemed really sad. "What's the matter?" asked Ma. "Well, Raj said I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." That just shows what Raj knows, said Ma. A girl can be Peter Pan if she really wants to. Grace cheered up a little, and then she remembered something else. Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black, she said. Ma looked angry this time, but before she could speak, Nana said, it seems that Natalie is another one who doesn't know anything. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it. On Saturday, Nana told Grace that they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand theater. The sign outside read Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet in sparkling lights. Are we going to the ballet, Nana? Asked Grace. We are, honey, but first I want you to look at this picture. Grace looked up and saw a beautiful young ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer it said, the stunning new Juliet. That one right there in the poster, she said, is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad, said Nana. Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me, do I want tickets to see her Rosalie dance? So this time I said yes. After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet, dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. I can be anything I want, she thought. On Monday, the class met for auditions to choose who was best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter, she knew exactly what to do and all the words to say because she had been practicing being Peter Pan all weekend long. She took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook and Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt about it who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. You were fantastic, whispered Natalie. The play was a big success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, I feel as if I could fly all the way home. You probably could, said Ma. Yes, said Nana. If Grace puts her mind to it, she can do anything that she wants. Thank you for listening to my story today, boys and girls, on Amazing Grace. And I think the thing that I love about this book is the fact that it reminds me, no matter what I'm up against, I can be anything I want to be as long as I put my mind to it. If I can dream it, I can definitely be it. Thank you for tuning in today. Join us again tomorrow for CCS Live at 2 o'clock. Thank you.